So hey guys, Romie here. So of course please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for The Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 9 Episode 17. Aloha and goodbye, which as we know, aloha also means goodbye, so we're just going to say aloha. The episode starts off with everyone's getting up for their day, and we see this moment where it's Portia and Todd, and Portia has her eyelashes just laying around. Todd was just carrying them like, I was waiting for you to come out of the bathroom. I was supposed to take you so long because I wanted to go and give you your eyelashes. You just left them out. And she said, hi. Look, things like that are going to be left all over the place. So you're just going to need to get used to that. Of course, Candy's checking on Riley to see how Ace is doing. I'm sure, you know, Mama Joyce is someone else is there to help her out as well. But Ace is so cute. Todd's just like, smile. And of course, Ace smiled. Now, we have Kenya and Phaedra who go and, you know, they're just playing around with tennis. Kenya, again, we know she's competitive, for real competitive. So, Kenya was hitting those balls, not hard, but definitely like, alright Phaedra, stop playing around. Phaedra's just like, yeah, so anyway, what did you want to talk about today? They're just talking about how it's interesting how their friendship has done a complete 180. It's almost going to be a 360 soon enough. But let's start with the 180. And I'm glad that they, at least for now, are on solid terms, are on common ground, because you can't be on a show like this and just decide, you know what, I'm going to have a problem with this person forever. That's not what any of us want to see for them. So I'm glad that that's not the case, but in the back of my mind I was thinking, Lord, how long is this going to last? Kenya's trying to figure out, okay, Phaedra, so what's going on with you and your love life and your relationship since your divorce is going to be finalized soon? I'm thinking, that's right, Phaedra hasn't told any of them except for Portia that her divorce is finalized. And she's like, oh yeah, and I'm so sorry, da da da. Phaedra made a comment about, you know, she likes her sushi on the plate. Because I think Kenya was talking about, what was it, Aiden or so, who, he also plays tennis or has tennis practice or something of that nature, and it was like, oh, well, you can go over there and find someone there. She's like, no, there's all women there. I like my sushi on the plate. I said, not sushi, not sushi. But again, mind you, Phaedra is keeping her mouth shut because she knows that her and Kenya are cool right now, but she doesn't want to put all of her stuff on Front Street. Cynthia and Peter, they have a heart-to-heart. You know, Cynthia kind of gives Peter a birthday breakfast or brunch, and this is where we get a real conversation with no one else in it, and they're both in different places. They both agree that who knows what's going to happen in the future, not as far as them getting married again or anything like that, but they both are like, yeah, I could definitely see you dipping back in. Cynthia says that she thinks that Peter was a good husband, or she never questioned if he was a good husband or not. I'm thinking, wait, what? Peter's done some stupid stuff, and I think we all acknowledge that, especially with the finances and all that. So let's not pretend like we're going to skate through that portion, but I appreciate this other part from Cynthia. Cynthia said, oh, I don't think I was a good wife. And honestly, I didn't think so either. People say, oh my gosh, Peter's doing all this stuff. So how could you dare say, no, good wife. Cynthia acknowledged the entire time she was on this show, even when she was getting married, she doesn't know if she wants to get married. She loves this guy, so that's why she's doing it. But she's turned down marriage proposals multiple times. Period, in life, because she never felt like she was the marrying type. So here comes this guy that she's like, okay, I'm gonna go and do it. But now there's things that, you know, as a wife, as a husband, I always did feel like Peter, even with him messing up and doing all this dumb stuff, that he wanted to at least try to make it work. Cynthia always came off like, I can, you know, take this or leave this. And when you're in a when you're in a marriage, you can't have that type of mindset of, oh, I'm just going to take it and leave it. And that's what Cynthia always gave me. So that's why I appreciate her saying that, you know what, I didn't feel like I was a good wife. Because at the end of the day, I didn't really want to be married, so I moved a certain way. And Peter appreciated that as well. So we're going to move on from that because they decide, at least for now, they're not going to be together. Who knows what the future holds. Marriage isn't in the cards ever again between the two of them, so we'll keep it at that. And it's like, okay, so far the trip hasn't been going too well, but I am glad that everyone's able to come together for this dinner. It was supposed to be a pig roast, but it's actually still going to be, you know, something with a P. It's going to be a Peter roast. And it's funny because, like I said, everyone sits down, and right now, everyone's had time to cool off from all the stuff that's happened previously, except for Shereé. Shereé is over it. Bob gets there before her, and they acknowledge the fact that, you know what, Shereé isn't here yet. Okay, and here comes Bob, but Shereé still isn't there yet. The ladies know why Shereé's upset with Bob, you know, playing down his involvement with the mental or physical abuse that went on in their relationship. And that's why he's like, that's why when he sits down, the old lady's like, okay, hey Bob, hey Bob. You know how it is when it's that one person you're like, I can't believe this said, and we have to, hey Bob, it's not that I don't like you any less, I just look at you a little bit differently now. Now, that wasn't me, that was, Bob is a take it or leave it type of person, in my opinion, so I don't have a problem not seeing him on the show back again, because we've gotten the response that we need. Peter comes at the table, and then Shereé does, and Shereé just acknowledges, you know what, I'm okay, don't want to, you know, bring up anything in the, at the table around the men, and you know what, I definitely can respect that, and everyone can too, because it was a really serious matter, so I think this is one of the rare occasions where all ladies agreed, you know what, if you don't want to talk about it, and this is Peter's birthday, we don't have to talk about it. Now on to the festivities. They have the men go and dance. After the men, it's so funny, because I always notice that, I don't know if maybe it's how the camera's edited it, but I always notice how the, what do you call it, when it comes to the dancers, whenever they're in Hawaii, they almost don't, not the dancers, but the cast members don't seem to kind of know, okay, oh, they're done? Oh, okay, they're done? Because it's really fast and quick, and we're like, oh, okay, this is a lot of hip action, and so that's really the main focus of the dance. That's why they wear those, not leis, but hula skirts, and so it's just like, oh, yeah, we're used to, you know, things being a little bit more dragged out, but it's like, okay, that works too. Now it's on to the pig roast. I mean, the Peter. Why is it a pig roast? The Peter roast. And Todd, you know, talks about, I don't understand. When I looked at Cynthia and I looked at Peter, I said, wait, they're together? Wait, how did he do that? Where is he? Cynthia, are you okay? Candy talks about how, you know, when they said we were going to do this whole pig roast, Peter roast at night, I was thinking, wait, Peter, how are we going to do that? How are we going to find him? Dude, you just open your mouth. We need to see you. I was like, okay, this is cute, this is cute. Portia, and she tried to go and do the okie doke of, oh, so Peter, did you hit that yet? Or did you hit that last night? Or did you have sex with your ex yet? And Peter says, look, I didn't, but you know, you might have done it first. I said, wait a minute, what? I don't know if you hit it first. I said, Portia, you really let the guest of honor go and roast you? Portia, how did you do that? How did you do that? And I think Kenya might have focused on the finances, if memory serves me right. And it's just like, man, you really had to borrow that money from your wife, and you still could get the business off and running. I'm not sure if that's the direction they went, but we'll just give it to her and say that's what happened. Phaedra should have ended her joke right where it was, where she was just like, you know what, Peter, each time I see you, I just want to bury you. I said, wait, what? Okay, flag on the play, flag on the play. What? Why would you say that? She's like, no. I mean, you're always dressed in nice suits. So, we're like, Phaedra, that's where you just cut the joke right there. Because that was more than enough. Here comes Cynthia, and she gets up there, and Cynthia wants to talk about, so the 10 years that we spent together, they were magical, and you know, throughout those years, oh my Lord Jesus, Cynthia, sit down. And Phaedra's like, you know what? She's just so pretty. This is where you need to be seen and not heard. I'm like, even though I don't like those type of jokes, I was just like, Cynthia, I get it. You're in a good place with him. You don't want to say anything negative. Get off stage. Get off stage, because this isn't for you. Get off. Get off stage. Shereé doesn't want to do it because she's not in a joking mood. Bob goes and does it himself. And again, of course, Peter's just happy that he was able to go and do all this. He blows out the candles on his cake. And this is the side of Peter that I wish we saw more of, because Peter was involved in so much drama, and that's when people were like, okay, he needs to get off the show because he's in more of the drama, more drama than some of the ladies, and that doesn't make any sense. Next day, it's Kenya's turn. Kenya decides she wants to go and set up this event, and I'm thinking, okay, what is she doing? Apparently, it's a divorce party. You know, of course, Aloha means hello and goodbye, so she wants to do a you know, hello and goodbye themed divorce party. I said, okay, but are the people that are going to be involved in the party okay with that? Because I know this is a sensitive group, especially since these divorces are fresh. So I don't know how that's going to work. Now, we have I'm not going to call it a yacht. It could be a yacht. But we have a nicer boat. This is probably one of the nicest boats that they've been on since we've seen them on the show. So, shout out to whoever for this. Now, mind you, everyone's outside except for Shereé and Bob, because Shereé needs to get down to the meat and potatoes of what's going on with them. While everyone's having a good time outside, wind blowing in their tracks and in their bundles, which I never have an issue with something like that. I said, as long as it looks good, why would I care? That doesn't make any sense. I don't understand people like, you have to be all natural. You have to. If it looks good and it's protecting their hair so that they actually have hair, afterwards, what's the problem? But anyway, Bob, he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand why are you so upset, Shereé. Shereé tells him, okay, that's the problem right there. You went and you left. You left for 6 months to go to school in California. No issues with you going to school and bettering yourself, but you left for 6 months and you came back like nothing ever happened. You're the same person that went and you cut off credit cards. You're the same person that went and stopped paying the rent or the lighting bill. And I'm looking at you like, you don't understand what you did. You don't understand why I feel a certain way. I've never been able to talk to you about these things. Anytime we try to talk or I try to be real with you, you go and deflect. You go and make a joke about it. You don't take it seriously. And so I decided, why am I even wasting my time? And I said, Shereé, keep going, because he needs to hear this. We all need to hear this because we all need to understand in full detail. At the time, we understood, but we didn't fully get it because it came off a certain way when you were originally on the show. But now we're on one accord. Everyone kind of hears when Bob's just like, come on now! Because Bob was irritated about the fact that it's almost like, you're not going to let this go? No, I'm not going to let this go. Let it go? How can I let something go when this is my first time even just verbalizing it to the person who did this stuff to me? He, of course, acknowledges, yes, I take all the blame. I take all the responsibility. I'm going to be accountable for it because, yes, I did do it. Great! Great! Stop making jokes about it. How about that? How about that? But everyone, when Bob, made that noise, we're like, oh, well, it looks like they must be working through something. And this is how everyone was for like a good portion of that conversation. I'm like, people, come on now. Come on now. And here goes Portia's Todd like, wow, they must be going through it right there. There must be some issues that they need to work out. I said, you know what? I actually like Portia's Todd. I think he fits in well with the other men as well because he's mature. He's 40, so he's mature. He has 2 kids, and even though looks like he's like fun enough for Portia, for the most part he's probably grounded enough as well. It's just maybe a little bit too rash of a decision when it comes to Portia. I hope it's not in an opportunistic way. But back to Shereé. Shereé, she feels good because she was able to get this all off their chest when everyone hears that, okay, things are kind of quiet now, it's getting dark, so production can't see us outside anymore because we black. Let's go downstairs. And Bob said, you know what, let's go and be cordial and go and be cordial with everyone. They're like, oh, so you're good? Yeah, but we need a little bit of space. There's like nothing wrong with that. And I appreciate the fact that no one at the time was doing any type of meddling. They noticed that Cynthia and Peter were very close, and so they're like, kiss, 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 kiss. Thinking, Lord, they were given that type of energy, so neither of them had an issue doing it. And it was funny to me because afterwards, Cynthia, she had this fan that was attached to her phone. I was like, gosh, see, that's the direction where phones are going in, where you can do anything with them. She had a fan hooked up to her phone. It's like, that is genius. That is genius. What is even... her hair got stuck in the fan. And it was so needed, because after what just happened, it was the comic relief that was needed for that scene. So I was like, thank you, Cynthia. If it was me, I would have intentionally, set that up. But thank you, because it was spontaneous, no one saw it coming. Candy's the first one to show up to, it's nighttime now, and Candy's the first one to show up to Kenya's, divorce party for Phaedra and for Cynthia. Now, here comes Shereé, like, I don't know if they're going to really appreciate this, but okay. Cynthia, she comes in with this black dress on. I said, look at Cynthia. Look at her. And everyone's like, okay, surprise. And Cynthia looked like she wanted to cry. They're like, don't do that. That's not what we're trying to do. That's not the type of energy we're trying to bring. And we know Cynthia, she's still hurt and feels a certain way about the fact that she's even getting this divorce, because she's like, Peter's a good man. She feels bad about all this. They're kind of renewing their general relationship now, so is what it is. I said we're not going to use that phrase anymore. So that's where they're at right now. And they said, no, this is a celebration, because the banner says, I did, I'm done. Divorce party. And I do think it was a little bit too soon. I get where Kenya was coming from. I have to give it to her, because I guess she was trying to do something that she thought was nice. So, can't fault her for that. I honestly will have tested the waters, though, because that's something serious. So, that's my only thing there. I will have tested the waters and say, do you think right now it would be good to do a divorce party? I get it, because they need an extra scene in, so yeah, let me go and do this while we're in Maui. Anyway, they're having games. It's pinned the penis on the buff dude on the poster. Said, we really about to... Okay. Alright, Cynthia, she definitely, it's like, I'll go and participate because I have to, but, wait a minute, is Shereé wearing the same necklace I have on? Oh, okay, no, she's not. Anyway, they're like, okay, everything's going well. Portia comes along, she comes along with Phaedra. Phaedra isn't happy. She is not happy. You can tell from the start. So they leave her alone, because it was that blatant. And I understand, because none of them know that Phaedra's divorce is finalized, that it's just really sore for her. So we get it. So they're playing the games. They're going and, being blindfolded, being spanned around, and then trying to kiss the area where the guy's penis is. I'm like, okay, whatever. They're acting stupid. They're having a good time. Everyone's able to come together and do this is a unifying moment for the group. So I said, yeah. This is cute and all. This is great. Phaedra excuses herself. I think she said she just needs some air. Maybe she needs to use the bathroom. Whatever excuse she gave. Portia, her good friend, now I mind you, I say her good friend, says, I guess Phaedra wasn't happy. Well, Phaedra was saying she was very upset and hurt by this party that was supposed to be thrown on her behalf, because she doesn't understand why some why some homewrecker would go, I'm like, oh god, Phaedra, here we go. Some homewrecker would go and do this party mocking the sanctity of marriage and the unity that happens when a couple agrees to couple. And also saying, you know, this is the same person that was texting her husband, and why should she be surprised she wouldn't expect anything less from that homewrecker whore? I said, you know what? Portia, what possessed you to say that out loud? What possessed you to say that out loud? I get it that Shereé was looking over your shoulder when you got that ding because it was very loud. But I don't think Shereé was close enough to directly see that text message. If you're going to say, I would have said a very general version of that, not, oh, I guess I'm in a good place with the ladies, so I could just go and be honest with them with something like this. Because I feel like that's what happened. She kind of let her guard down. It's like, you know what, we're in a good place. I'm just going to go and verbalize all of this and see what happens. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. I'm looking at Portia like, Jesus, oh God. That's not what she said, but I think that was her explanation. But I can't be mad at her, because at the end of the day, we're going to get on Phaedra in a second. Along with getting on Phaedra, for that, remember, Phaedra still hasn't owned up to the part where she was the one who brought up the whole lesbian thing with, regarding Candy in the first place. So, I looked at this like, dang, karma came back at you in full force, Phaedra. And full force. Because Kenya was thinking, oh, it's for my best friend, the parties for my best friend and my new best friend. I said, oh God, you putting these labels, I've been telling you to stop putting these labels on people. People who don't have your true best interests are there for the moment. So, Portia goes and she leaves and she talks to Phaedra, and Phaedra is just saying how she's over it. How can someone who did all that stuff to me in the past would then go and try and say that through a party about my divorce? It's like throwing it in my face. Thinking, Lord Jesus, I get you're sensitive about this, but that's not what it was about, and everyone can see and everyone knows it. And even Portia was trying to acknowledge that. Now, Portia did say, in all fair warning, that this is the difference. Portia, at least, even though I'm like, Portia, you didn't even have to say that, but if you did, at least you told Phaedra that you said it and warned her before knock, Kenya comes in. It's like, can I talk to Phaedra separately? Yeah. And so Kenya's hurt because she's trying to figure out, how can someone that I'm supposed to be building a new relationship go and insinuate that I'm a homewrecker again? This is the main reason why we had the falling out. Well, aside from you doing way too much flirting with her husband, it was unnecessary flirting. That was the issue to begin with. But, Phaedra, you're talking about the sanctity of marriage? Even though Apollo, he did a lot of stuff, and we know it, you didn't help the situation. And let's say, you know, throughout the overall marriage you were good. Cool. Once it started to break apart, the sanctity of marriage, technically until that divorce, everything is finalized, you're not really supposed to be looking out of the marriage like, okay, let me go and talk to this person over here, talk to this person over there. No, because you were trying to play it off like you weren't doing anything like that. So I'm not sure if we can say that you and yourself and this whole sanctity of marriage, that everything was perfect on your end, that you did everything the way you were supposed to. You felt like you did, and that's why you said it. But I disagree. I disagree. Does it really matter? No. What I really cared? No. Because you two had real bonding experiences, and I said this is fake and phony and bougie. This is some mess. And I didn't believe it for a second. I said, watch, this is going to blow up. And not because I wanted to blow up in their face, but because this, Kenya, you need to stop. You need to just quit while you're behind when it comes to this whole friend thing. I think it's interesting, though, how when, you know, one side isn't doing too well, the people who were having issues are able to kind of come together. The fact that now, because I get it, Candy is happy with the fact that at least, what's her name? Portia went and acknowledged the fact that she lied, so she's good with Portia. He's like, okay, Portia acknowledged that she lied, so she doesn't have any issues, she doesn't have any problems. Shereé was just like, I knew this was going to be some other mess. It makes no sense how Phaedra's going in. The guys come out of nowhere just like, hey, surprise! Oh, a divorce party? Oh, that's kind of stank. No, we're all good. And Peter's just like, I don't know if I'll see them ever again in this capacity, so it was nice to have them. So that was it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Come back.